Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We are the Mighty Gooey Yogurt. There's no dispute, we are. I'm not in the Lake District today. No, left the Lake District about 10 minutes ago. I'm on the A65 and I'm heading, first of all, to Kirkby Lonsdale. And when I get to Kirkby Lonsdale, I'm going to try and find Devil's Bridge, a well-known haunt for motorcyclists. And there is a cafe there apparently, so it's probably time for a coffee. Yeah, see you in a bit. Stop recording. Okay then, so at the moment we are around about 3 miles outside of Kirkby Lonsdale, and I've never been to Devil's Bridge before, so I don't really know what to expect. Let's go and find out. This is a lovely stretch of road. We've just come past the junction 35 of the M6. We're now heading eastwards out into Yorkshire, and I have a number of things planned for today, but first things first, Devil's Bridge. We'll have a turn around and look. Funny story. So I was all set for a fabulous day. I had loads of venues to go to. Got the whole thing planned out. Yeah, you know what they say. Man plans, God laughs. Well, don't believe in God, but yeah, things do go wrong. So I've been sat in a lay-by for quite some time now, waiting for the RAC. Flat battery. Oh well, stuff happens. I called it in at around about 10:30. It's now about 2:30, so it's been a very long wait. But I've just had a phone call from them. They're turning up very soon. There we go. I should be home in about an hour. Shit happens. And here they come. Fabulous. Well now, I'm not turning this motorcycle off till I get home. That was all terribly amusing. So I was sat waiting for recovery rescue for about 4.5 hours. I had stuff to keep me amused. I did some reading that I needed to catch up on. I had plenty of time to wiggle and tease at a tooth that has been coming out for quite some time now. Yes, I do still have some more teeth to lose, and finally managed to get the damn thing out. There he is, look. Yep. I still have all my own teeth, they're just not in my mouth anymore. Well, I'm about half an hour from home now. There are one or two little finer details to this story that I've yet to mention. But I'll do that once I get moving. Don't touch anything except the throttle. So clearly I've got a problem with this battery. I'm going to be getting a new one at the earliest opportunity. But yeah, back to the beginning. So I had a fabulous day planned. I was going to be riding about 200 miles. I was going first of all to Devil's Bridge, and of course getting lost on the way there is what led quite directly to the problem of the motorcycle not starting. Because when I realised I was on the wrong road and had to stop and consult the map, I turned off the motorcycle while I did so, and then the damn thing wouldn't start again. I had several attempts at bump starting it, but I know from previous experience it's not an easy machine to bump start. Now, another little funny point is that I actually looked at the Power Surge battery pack just before I left this morning and thought, oh, I'm not going to need that. So I didn't bring it. If I had, I'd have had a very different day. I've learned that lesson now. I hope. So anyway, bike wouldn't start. I parked it up at a little T-junction and got in touch with the RAC. And after about 20 minutes of reporting the problem online, RAC got back and said estimated arrival between 2:10 and 5:10. Oh my me, I thought, oh my me. Then I thought, well, they might be a bit quicker. So I was sat there, like I said, catching up on a bit of reading, generally being patient and stoic, because it's important when you're having a difficult time to be stoic. There are some things you can change, there are some things you cannot. You are beholden to forces and powers beyond your control, and there is nothing, but nothing, that you can do about it. So I had a good old wiggle of the tuff. I had a good old read of the newspaper. Honestly, the stuff that's going on at the moment is just insane. But another time. Now then, this is evidence of the fundamental decency and goodness of human nature. I've been sat there about 40-50 minutes and a woman walked past, out walking her dog. She said, "Hello, it's a nice day for it, isn't it?" And I said, "Well, it would be if my battery wasn't flat." And she was like, "Ooh." "Well," she said, "what are you going to do?" I said, "I've called the RAC. They're on the way, but they're going to be ages." And she went on to say, "I'll tell you what, if you're still here when I get back from walking the dog, which will be about an hour, I'll go and get my car and some jump leads and help you." Oh, I thought that was very nice. But I was still hopeful at that point of the RAC actually turning up sooner than they'd suggested they might. Because often that's a good business ploy, isn't it? You know, promise less than you can deliver. And then if you can deliver more, people are going to be pleased. Yeah, it didn't work out that way. So sure enough, about an hour later, this woman comes past again. And she says, "Right, I'm going home now. What have the RAC said?" I said, "Well, they're saying between 2:10 and 5:10. She's like, "Ooh, you can't be sitting out in the sun for that long. You'll get sunstroke," she says. And so off she went. And half an hour passed. And I was thinking, ooh, maybe she's changed her mind and she doesn't want to come back and help fairly scary looking motorcyclists apparently, so I'm led to believe. I'm quite scary looking. I don't think so, but there we are. And yeah, 40 minutes afterwards, there she is coming down the road with a bag, a brown paper bag. I thought, ooh. She couldn't find the bits she wanted, but she's brought me a sandwich and a coffee. But no, in fact, inside the brown paper bag was the Power Surge jump pack and a set of Allen keys, because I had mentioned I'd need a 4mm Allen key to get the battery cover off. So there we are. Within 2 or 3 minutes the bike was started, and we were about to say our farewells, and she said, I'll just wait and make sure. Well, I'm glad she did, because I promptly stalled the engine. So we did the whole thing again. It was big laughs, and it was all good, and off she went and off I went. At that point I was thinking to myself, well, I suppose I should cut my losses now and just go home. So that's what I did. And then about 10 minutes further down the road, it suddenly occurred to me that I needed to stop and let the RAC know that I didn't need them anymore. So I pulled over at the first big lay-by on the A590. Very deliberately didn't turn off the engine. I reached in my pocket for my phone, and shortly thereafter I somehow accidentally hit the kill switch. Oh my me, I thought. Not for the first time today. Now I've gone and done it. And so there I was, sat in a lay-by on a busy dual carriageway with a motorcycle that would not start. What was I to do? Well, I got in touch with the RAC again, and they said, we're going to send you a link just now to tell us your new location. And sure enough, the link came through. I clicked on it, they got my new location, and I sat down and waited. And waited. Did some more reading. And waited some more. Well, I thought to myself, how much worse can this get? Still laughing about it, and laughing, of course, at my own idiocy. I took my vape out of my pocket. Had a quick puff, and realised that I'd left my vape liquid at home. Oh my me, I said to myself, not for the first time today. And resigned myself to the fact that these things were as they were, and were, of course, like everything else at that point, totally beyond my control, and therefore not worth getting upset about, not worth being angry about. And so I settled down for what might be a lengthy wait. It was. And of course, on a sunny day, on a busy dual carriageway, with lots and lots of motorcycles ironically heading for the Lake District, several people stopped to see if I was okay. which I really appreciated. I mean, that's what we bikers do, isn't it? That's what we do. It's a brotherhood and we look after each other. But nobody had what I needed to get the motorcycle moving again. And so I just had to wait. Now, my only criticism here of the RAC is that between 10:30 and 3 o'clock, the app on the phone didn't give me a single update. They were just still saying, for 4 hours, they were saying arrival time between 2:10 and 5:10. Well, at 3:05 I got a phone call, and it was the guy in the RAC van, and he said, we'll be with you in 15 minutes. And indeed he was. And 10 minutes after that, I was on the road again. Really then the only criticism I have of the RAC is that they didn't give me any updates. And I only knew somebody was coming 15 minutes before they turned up. It's not their fault. It's been apparently a very busy day, the mechanic in the van was telling me, for breakdowns, largely cars overheating on the M6 because it's such a hot day. But you know, essentially, and in the final analysis, none of this would have been a problem if I'd just bought the Power Surge pack with me. Will I leave home without it again? I suspect not. Well, anyways, I'm going to be ending this little film quite soon because I'm nearly home, and I've been in touch with the Murgatroyd all day long, obviously, so she's aware of what was going on. I happen to know that she's picked me up some cans of beer for when I get home, and she will presently be making our evening meal. So I have a lovely plate of spaghetti bolognese to look forward to, and several cans of beer. I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody who's given up their time to watch this little film. I'd like to offer an especially warm welcome to my latest clutch or batch of subscribers. We're getting very close to 250 now. And as I always say, there is a lot more yet to come. Oh yes, there is. So thank you all again for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Just one final reflection then. I had planned after Devil's Bridge to go to Malham Cove, a spectacular limestone cliff in Yorkshire. I was then going to cut back across the Forest of Bowland and then head out to the coast and go and have a look at Morecambe. And I had a fabulous, terribly amusing Morecambe and Wise skit worked out that was going to be a film in and of itself. But the day just didn't work out that way. I've had a day in which everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. Well, they happened. But here we are, at 5 o'clock in the evening nearly, and I'm still laughing, I'm still smiling, and I am still filled with that wonderful motorcycle happiness. I would not want it any other way. Hello, Murgatroyd. You right? Fabulous. That was all terribly amusing. What are we on with here?
Courgettes.
Planting courgettes. Jolly good. Right. I'll see you in a bit.